This is the Thanos SE. No, not that Thanos, this one. It's made by DigitalFoto. I'm going to do a full review showing you countless B-roll of the Thanos SE in action, how to set it up and configure it, and of course the results that it produces. But if you prefer a more concise review, understand this. The main capability delivered by the Thanos SE is shooting longer, much longer, by transferring the weight from the camera, lens, and gimbal from your arms to your back, thereby reducing muscle fatigue. Not sold yet? Want a more detailed review rather than the Coles Note version I just gave you? Well, stick around for a detailed review. But first, I encourage you to subscribe and choose all notifications so you're kept informed on the latest camera gear, news, and rumors. I'm testing the Thanos SE with the Crane 2S, Canon R5, and the Canon RF 50mm f1.2. I'll also use the Canon 70D with the 18-135 as a prop when I'm recording with the R5 capturing B-roll. The Thanos SE should work with any handheld gimbal like the Crane 2S, the Crane 3, the Weebill S, the Ronin S, and so on. The Thanos SE, as tested in this video, comes with a supporting vest, the dual spring arm, carry bag, round base plate, and an adapter for thinner-handled gimbals. It might seem like the Thanos SE is adding an awful lot of weight and bulk to my kit, and, well, it is adding weight and it is adding bulk, but that's not what I feel like. I can let go of this thing and all the weight is off my shoulder and my back. The gimbal floats freely in the cradle, and I have just as much range and movement as I did before. When I put this on for the first time a couple of days ago, my son referred to me as Iron Man. I can guarantee you I'm not making $20 million for this video, so I'm in no way Iron Man. But you might be wondering, doesn't it add bulk and weight to my kit? Well, yes, it does certainly add weight. It is bulky, but that's not how I feel when I'm shooting with it. For example, right now, all the weight is gone from my arms. I feel relaxed. The weight is on my shoulders and my back. And as long as your posture is good, make sure your posture is good, it's a very, very pleasant experience. When I first got the Crane 2S, it probably took me about 2 days to fully get it dialed in. Well, not so much get it dialed in, but to get me all used to the new technology. As far as getting it set up, I don't think it took more than about an hour at most. But for me, getting used to it, it really did take a couple of days. And the same can be said for the Thanos SE. It is an incredible device. It really takes all that weight. If you're shooting for hours upon hours a day, every day, then something like the Thanos SE really does transfer that weight away from the gimbal onto your shoulders and your back so you can be concentrating on getting the scene every time. And that's one of the big benefits I noticed. I was focused more on the scene. I was looking through the viewfinder. I was looking at my subject. I wasn't so much concerned about the weight and getting tired. I was completely absorbed. And that's one of the great things about the Thanos SE is the lack of distraction. Depending on how you like to shoot, you can keep this thing completely tilt locked so that the only thing that Thanos is doing is helping you with your vertical movement. It's actually acting as a cushion and further reducing the upward movement or the jarring movement by about 20 to 30%. But if you do want to be able to have full control and tilt of your gimbal, then you've got a couple of knobs up at the front here. The first one controls your tilt up and down. And if you want to have full range of movement, just unlock this one here. And as you can see, you have full range of movement with the gimbal, and it's pretty easy to control. And this is where you're going to have to practice and get used to the different movements. Having this arm, it transfers the weight off, and that makes the balancing a little bit different. Not difficult, but like anything with cameras, you buy a new lens, you buy a new camera body, a new tripod. Everything is going to take you a little bit of time to get used to it to get the best performance out of it. But as you can see right here, it's pretty easy for me to control my movement back and forward. Sorry about that noise there. I bumped into the microphone, but easy to move forward, upwards, left to right. I've got full range of movement. The only difference is, especially when I'm all the way out extended, I'm not feeling it in my arms. In fact, my shoulder and my back feels fine too, but notice my posture. Your posture matters an awful lot. I can't help but say that time and time again. You got to watch your posture. Don't lean forward. If you start leaning forward, you're going to kill your back. So watch your posture. So to conclude, concise, clear, and coherently, I got to tell you, I like the Thanos SE. It works very well because it transfers all the weight from your arms to your shoulders and back so you can shoot a whole lot longer. And what's really great about being able to do that, transferring the weight to your shoulders, is that you're no longer focused on the weight of your arms and how it feels and, oh my God, I can't wait to finish shooting this scene. And the work product starts to go downhill. By transferring the weight to your shoulders and your back, I'm now completely focused on the shot. looking through the viewfinder or looking through the LCD or looking at my subject, I'm able to frame a whole lot better. And that to me is the magic of the Thanos SE. So is it right for you? If you're only shooting with a gimbal maybe 20 to 30 minutes every maybe week or so, no, it really isn't, because it's more kit and gear that you have to lug around. In fact, lugging it around might be more of an annoyance. And if you're only shooting for 20 or 30 minutes, then it might not be right for you. But that also depends on what sort of arm strength you have. You might find that it is still worthwhile to you. But the real winner here is when you're shooting for 2 to 4 hours at a time, even if it's just a Saturday and a Sunday, when you're shooting for that length of time, you're no longer focused on how your arms are feeling, how tired you feel. You're focusing on your shot. You're focusing on your subject. And more often than not, you get it nailed in fewer shots. Sorry, let me say that again. You get it nailed a whole lot quicker without having to take multiple shots because, and this is a big deal here, you're focused on your subject and not the pain. You can just look through the viewfinder, the LCD, or your subject and frame it up and keep the subject framed a whole lot better. And that's what I've noticed in the week that I've had the Thanos SE, is how I'm able to reduce the amount of time it takes to get the shot right. And when I'm done, I feel great. My arms aren't sore. And when I shoot sometimes for 2 to 4 hours and sometimes 6, my back's killing me the next day because my back and my arms are killing me, right? Because I've just been shooting for so long. I've been overextending my muscles, and then that starts to feel into my shoulders, and that starts to feed into my back and even into my legs because all your muscles are connected. Take the time to set it up. Get out there. Don't try to learn how to use it on the job. You want to get out and play around and just enjoy the technology. Play around with it. Get the shots. Take it back. I have a laptop with me so I can take it in, check it out on a laptop on a larger screen. And I've been getting better and better. And I think probably after a few more outings with this, I'll have it mastered. And I think it's a really terrific technology. But again, and this is very, very important, your posture matters a whole lot because you are adding extra weight. You're adding extra bulk. And if you're tilting forward like this, I can guarantee you're going to feel it in your lower back. So you want to make sure you have the right posture. If you're trying to get a lower shot, don't tilt down to get that lower shot. Use the gimbal. Use the arm. Lower it down or tilt using the gimbal. And you're going to be a lot happier with it, because if you don't do that, you're going to have a really, really sore back, and you're going to think, Simon, what are you talking about? This makes my life horrible. My back's killing me. Sure, my arms were sore before, but now my back is killing me, and my back is far more important to me. So please, watch your posture. You're going to find out the first few times that you go out with this, you're going to want to lean forward a little bit, but you got to remember to keep your posture right, keep your back straight, and also tighten this up so it doesn't flex around and move around a whole lot, because if you do that, what'll tend to happen, and this happened to me when I didn't tighten it up right the first time, is you can slip with the gimbal, you move things around because it'll move on you, and you want it stable. When you're shooting, you want to keep things as stable as you can. There's no sense in getting a gimbal and the Thanos SE and then not having it all tightened up, and it kind of misses the point. To produce the footage I showed in the video, that really has nothing to do with the Thanos. What the Thanos helps is allowing you to shoot longer and transferring the weight away so you can concentrate more on your shots. But the stability of that footage has more to do with the Canon EOS R5 that I'm shooting with and the Crane 2S gimbal. And what I like about the Crane 2S gimbal is it can support a payload of around 14 or 15 pounds. The Thanos SE can support a payload of 2 to 8 kilograms. What's important to know is if you're below 2 kilograms, which is about 4.4 pounds, the resistance in the arm becomes something you're fighting against. And that's why they say 2 to 8 kilograms. And just simply adjust these 2 screws here. And depending on the weight, it'll allow the arm to move up and down, and consequently, of course, your gimbal. So you do definitely want to play around, sort of dial things in. You want to have a weight of, like I said, between 2 and 8 kilograms, which is about 4.5 pounds to 8 times 2, 16 to about almost 18 pounds. So 4.5 to just under 18 pounds is what it can take. So that's most gimbals. But it truly is a combination of all these technologies. All these technologies working together is what allows you to get that cinematic, smooth video. And then the rest, of course, is talent. And that comes, if you've shot with a gimbal, you didn't like it, you didn't like the results, it wasn't very good, pick it up again. Get out there, try again, watch some videos on how to shoot with a gimbal. It's just one of those technologies that takes you a little bit of time, but once you nail it, it's amazing. I really love shooting with this gimbal. Whenever I'm moving around and my subject is moving around, I love the gimbal. I also like to shoot really simple. Sometimes I'll go up with a camera. The Canon R5 has pretty good IBIS, but if you're shooting with cameras like the GH6 or Lumix cameras that have incredible focus on the, especially shooting with a micro four thirds sensor, or even the Olympus OM1, it's really nice sometimes shooting with very little kit. If you want to catch my latest videos, whether it be on reviews or news and rumors, go ahead and click subscribe and choose all notifications, so that way you're in the know on the latest news and rumors as well as the latest kit coming out. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.